Once upon a time, there was an old mother pig who had 3 little pigs and not enough food to feed them. So when they were old enough, she sent them out into the world to seek their fortunes. The first little pig was very lazy. He didn't want to work, and he built his house of straw. The second little pig worked a little bit harder, but he was somewhat lazy too, and he built his house out of sticks. Then they sang and danced and played together the rest of the day. The third little pig worked very hard and built his house full of bricks. He was sturdy and complete, with a fine fireplace and chimney. It looked like it could withstand the strongest winds. The next day, a wolf happened to pass by the lane where the 3 little pigs lived. And he saw the straw house and smelled the little pig inside. He thought the pig would make a mighty fine meal, and his mouth began to water. So he knocked on the door and said, little pig, let me in, let me in." But the little pig saw the wolf's big paws through the keyhole, so he answered back,
"No, no, no, not by the hairs of my chinny chin chin."
When the wolf showed his teeth, he said, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." So he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house down. The wolf opened his jaws very wide and bit down as hard as he could. But the first little pig escaped and ran away to the second little pig. The wolf continued down the lane. As he passed the second house, made of sticks, and he smelt the little pigs inside, and his mouth began to water, and he thought they would both make a mighty fine dinner. So he knocked on his door and said, little pigs, let me in, let me in." But the little pigs saw the wolf's pointy ears through the keyhole, and they answered,
"No, no, no, not by the hairs on our chinny chin chin."
But the wolf showed his teeth and said, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." And he huffed, and he puffed, and he blew the house down. The wolf was greedy, and he tried to catch both pigs at once, but he was too greedy and got neither one. His big jaws clamped down on nothing but air as the 2 little pigs scrambled away as fast as their hooves would carry them. The wolf chased them down the lane, and he almost caught them, but they made it to the brick house and slammed the door closed before the wolf could catch them. The 3 little pigs were very frightened. They knew the wolf wanted to eat them, and this was very, very true. The wolf had not eaten all day, and he had worked up a large appetite chasing the little pigs around. And now he could smell all 3 of them inside, and he knew that the 3 little pigs would make a lovely feast. So he knocked on the door and said, little pigs, let me in, let me in." But the little pigs saw the wolf's narrow eyes through the keyhole, and they answered back,
"No, no, no, not by the hairs on our chinny chin chin."
And the wolf showed his teeth again and said, "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down." Well, he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he puffed, but he could not blow the house down. And at last he was so out of breath, he couldn't puff any more. So he stopped for a rest and thought a bit. But this was way too much. The wolf danced about with rage and swore he would come down the chimney and eat the little pigs for his supper. But while he climbed on the roof, the little pigs made a blazing fire and put a big pot of water onto the boil. Then, just as the wolf was coming down the chimney, the little piggies pulled off the lid, and with a plump, the wolf fell into the scalding water. Little piggies cut the cover on and boiled the wolf up, and the 3 little piggies ate him for supper.
You've been listening to the Improv 2 Saga. Thank you, and have a great night.